Let's see. Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Under the Radar. So let's see. Quick plot summary. I died a lot. I killed a snake, and now we're gonna kill some more snakes. So, yeah, gotta hunt the 7 evil serpents, of which I killed one, and I have one in a magic orb thing, I guess. You know, it's really hard to provide a plot summary for this game. But anyway, if I remember right, I just slept, and now I'm gonna do some adventuring. I can't honestly remember what I was doing here. You wake after a peaceful night and gather up your pack once more. You go over to the battlement and lean out. Looking north, you can see the edge of a thick and verdant forest, the fabled trees of Snada. You heard about them as a boy, of course, but never dreamed you would see them for yourself. Between there and here is nothing but the level flats of the steppes, layered like the scales on a serpent's back. A thin column of smoke rises from a point just before the tree line. It must be the village of Clodaman. You look away from the view much more. Um, Let me just take a look at the map because not 100% sure. I know the water snake is there. Uh, didn't I can't remember what I did. Did I do that last time or did I not do? Well, I guess let's go over to this wall. I remember I almost got screwed because I almost got. I'm guessing I had a run-in with a time snake. Uh, I can't quite remember if I visited there in the past or in the future. So let's go check it out, I guess. Um, well here, let's see what can I do. I can get those ruins, I suppose. Yeah, let's do it like that and see what happens. Hmm. Yeah, I can't remember what my plan was, honestly. Let's see. All right, well, let's climb down, I guess. Doop 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 doop. Climb back to the space of the tower. I'm having also some technical difficulties here with my computer, so I'm trying to kind of multitask here, which I've never really been the best multitasker, so apologies there. Yeah, I know. Occasionally I do actually have plans for long. They may never work, and they may be terrible plans, but I do have plans. The door at the tower base is open and looks out onto a soggy marsh. Time to move along. You dang right, narration. Let's get out of here. You step out of the tower once more. You stride forwards. Ah, dang, I don't moonwalk? The mountains to the east are impassable. The only way to walk is back across the rocks. Well, let's go check out this handy, cool new temple thing that I made. That was an old temple, but now is a new temple because magic. You are walking through boggy marshland. The air moves a little, still icy, but fresh. You cross the marshland and pause inside a ring of 7 standing stones. Each stone in the ring is the size and breadth of a man. They stand straight upright, except for one, which is listed sideways like an arthritic finger. A few are carved. In the very center of the ring, a flat stone lies an inch or so below the water level of the marsh. Wet things gulp and groan in the mud below. You trace the carving on one of the nearby stones. It shows a fearsome bird rising up into the sky, wings blotting out the sun. Ah, what the hell. Stand on the central stone. You go to stand on the central stone, but nothing special occurs. If there's magic here, you cannot fathom it. You step out of the circle once more and plod on through the marsh water. Well, that was totally not enlightening at all. I guess let's go back north real quick, check out that well, and then honestly, I have no idea where I want to go. The marshes give way to a more solid, barren ground. A few clouds race across the sky. You continue to march. West, please. Uh, the steps seem to flood underfoot, creating a marsh. The sun is hot now. You stumble upon a low, round structure. It is the mouth of a well. Well, considering my experience with wells, let's look into it. You glance down the well, it disappears in the air inside his mouth is cold. Toss the stone, it falls, then you hear a splash. You consider climbing down the well for a moment, but it seems bleak and uninviting in there. As you stand by the well side, you hear a scraping noise from within. After a few minutes, two curved claws emerge through the opening, hooking onto either side of the well mouth. Something is pulling itself up. You stand back as a figure pulls themselves up and out of the well. The two hooks are attached to ropes, which the creature winds up and hangs over their shoulder. Only then do they notice you, though they do not seem to be startled. "Greetings!" you declare. The creature doffs its hat, rubbing a bruise on its head, as it hands you back the stone you threw down the well. Then, without further word, it turns and disappears away across the marsh. Okay, you walk on. Um, well, hell, I guess I've pretty much explored this area about as thoroughly as humanly possible. So, uh, I guess, can I activate that other lighthouse from here? I don't think it will reach, but maybe that's what I need to do. I don't know. I'm bad at adventures. Alright, let's go east. Um, you reach the edge of the marsh abruptly and climb up onto the flat ground. Heat beats down from an empty sky. You continue on your journey, feeling the day's first pangs of hunger in your stomach. Well, good thing I have absolutely nothing to eat. What? Come on. Come on, buddy. The ground itself seems to give way to blah, 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 blah. I mean, like I said, I'm going to try not to repeat some of these phrases. Since there's definitely a lot more free roaming in this version than in the last few. Ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-do. Um, let's see. I can just barely reach that tower, it looks like. Almost looks like I can, not quite, but almost get most of the bridge. So let's do like that. No. Yeah, it looks like if I do like that, I can get the lighthouse and some portion of the bridge. Let's try that. And then can I touch the blue crystal, please? And no? Okay, it won't let me hop over there. Alright, that's fine. Really, I probably need to go back and explore this area too at some point, but I'm going to save that for later. Because I'm already here, you know? I don't want to backtrack too much, especially if maybe I can find some hints about the serpents before I go back. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Blah blah blah. It's all stuff I'm pretty sure I've read before. Let's head west. And bad stuff is everywhere. The marsh is endless, bleak and gray, filling the valley between the ridge and the horns of Ilkaka, like slop filling a prisoner's bowl. Long grasses waft and shiver in a chill breeze. Things move in the water below. From somewhere close at hand you hear a crashing noise and a cry, but you can see nothing. You wait to see if the noise comes closer, but it does not. You cannot even place which direction it came from. You draw your sword and spike the ground on either side. Some areas are quite shallow, but others seem to sink a good depth down. The ground here is clearly treacherous. You keep up your pace, hoping the ground will grow firmer further on. Well, it does because I'm going back in time. Back to the future! The marshes give way to more solid, barren ground. The sun has all but gone. There's a pit in the ground here. You continue to march. Maybe can I stay with a Kahkabad again or whatever? Quadaman? You march onwards, the ground dropping a little. Darkness closes in. You try to find super special traveling all day, so you'll be exposed by enemies moving. The village. Please help me, my friends. Why would I cast a spell? I don't know. Please. At this point, I might as well just buy a house here. Uh, he draws but lets you pass. In the village. Pass this way, indifferent to you. By the fire. Do you have food, please? Our pig is roasting. You take a moment to simply rest and stare into the fire. You feel the stupidness of this placing you facts or passion. Take a leave fire. Dang. No food for me, I guess. But at least I got a place to sleep. You head back to the hammocks. You haul yourself under there for too long. There's nothing you can do to close your valley. Stretch out your pretty rest is unbroken by dreams. Cloudaman Village, day 14. During the past day, you collected some serpent, meaning there are 5 serpents left. Well, on the plus side, at least the game is going to be super positive and always tell me about the serpent that I have. Feeling much refreshed. Alright, leave the village. The forest looms north of here. To the forest. Julana. Yep, into the forest. Yep, I sure do walk forwards. That's definitely what I do. Quite a lot of walking. Wait. The path is narrow and is probably an animal track rather than anything more established. You pause to look at the mud and make out a series of paw prints, each about twice the size of your hand. They are most likely those of the bear you met around here earlier, or of another bear. Whatever, I totally wrecked that bear. Right? Didn't I? Pretty sure I did. The path winds tortuously through the forest. As the morning moves on, the wind begins to rise. You pass between broken branches once more. You keep moving, hoping you do not attract the notice of any more bears. Wait, why can't I go to the thing? Oh, do I have to go around? Da da da. Yeah, I guess I have to go around for some reason. Maybe I should have cleared more of the forest. Swim possible. Take a deep breath and drive in. Swim across. Boop. You swim, but the water soon turns to swaying grass, and you find you are crawling along dry ground. You stand and walk instead. The wind picks up as the evening draws on. It will be dark soon. Nestled in the curve of the eastern cliffs is a stone tower. From the top comes a familiar brass and metal glint. Looking up at the tower, it looks similar to the others you've seen, built from the same giant-sized blocks of stone. The only differences are the tree branches that spill out through the cracks in mortar, and the leaf canopy that erupts from the top. Something seems to rustle and move just inside the tower door. Let's see what that is. You step up to the tower door and step inside the shadows inside. That was kind of weirdly hard to say. To be met by a soft, damp smell. You step into the dark interior of the tower. Shadows loom from all sides, and though you can see nothing, there is a sense that something dominates the space. You hold back, waiting for your eyes to adjust. Slowly, details filter in. You are standing at the base of a gigantic tree. By the girth, it must be at least 500 years old. A wooden staircase winds around the trunk and disappears into the canopy. The tree is wider than your outstretched arms and has thick branches and leaves. Despite the dark, somewhere up above you spy a metallic glint. Time to explore. Boop. You climb the spiraling wooden stairs, picking your way through and over branches. Someone has carved something into the bark of the tree here. You regard the carving with some interest. It is a triangle formed of 3 stars. A spell! But without your spellbook, you cannot figure out which stars are intended. Well, dang. The staircase passes through a split in the trunk before it reaches the top. This is a pretty cool treehouse thing going on here. You emerge onto a stone walkway built in a ring that allows a tree to grow through. Resting in its branches is a brass contraption much like those you have already seen, its gears and bearings carefully enmeshed between the limbs of the tree. As the leaves gust back and forth, something else brass glints from within. You push to the edge of the tower and peer through the leaves. Looking west, the sharp mountains rise almost immediately, obscuring the view. The forest grows in all other directions until its southern edge where the land becomes a dusty plain once more. The sight of the towering horns of Ilkala sinks your heart a little. They are sharp peaks, scoured by rains and wind, and are most likely quite impassable to all but the strongest of birds. Scanning the tree line of the forest, you note a few stone pillars jutting from between the trees, ruins of something much larger that once stood to the north. You lower your eyes from the view once more. You reach out to bend in the branch from which the gleam is coming. It is a ring, slipped over the tip of the branch. The wood has grown into the metal somewhat, suggesting the ring was placed here when the tree was somewhat younger. You stand on tiptoes to peer at the ring. It is marked with a symbol of a serpent. Well, yeah, let's do it. You try to work the ring back up the branch, but it's too firmly ingrown, and you cannot get it to move at all. The wood is still alive, so breaking it is hard work, but in the end the branch gives, snapping violently in two. The ring pings off the end and disappears into the nearby trees. Well, that probably wasn't smart. You push aside the branches to reach the blue crystal at the base of the beacon, and the beam of light blossoms into life. Surprised I can even move it with all the, let's see. I could try that hilltop. Once again, I'm not entirely sure what the best thing to do. Maybe I should try to... why am I so bad at this game? I mean, it doesn't even look like I've got the full bridge there, but I can try to just like, do like that maybe? That may be good enough. Hopefully. Alright, let's try that. The cylinder moves easily, and though the focus is initially sticky, after a few twists and turns you get its light to shine brightly across the landscape. Things shift and morph as the light moves. Once more, you feel a great rush of wellness from using the beacon. Rising above the tree line is a looming shadow, the bridge, now mostly rebuilt thanks to the shimmering beacon of light. It stands like a wall, splitting the valley in two, impossibly high, with its upper roadway lost in clouds. Whoever built this must have been a giant, a magician, or more likely both. Guess let's touch the blue crystal. And I guess let's warp over here. And maybe now I can use the bridge to cross. Just beam. That maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of shenanigans here. So let's, whoops, nope, not that. That's not what I wanted to do. Touch the blue crystal. And dizzyingly high. And then I'll go here. And I will just beam. Where do I want to put this one now? I mean, I'm pretty sure I've explored this swamp, or this, the forest as much as I possibly can. There's nothing really here that would be good to change. It doesn't feel like. So I guess let's just pop into the swamp. Although I don't want to ruin the village of the guys who let me sleep there. Because those guys are cool. I like those guys. Let's do it like that, I suppose. Oh, and then I will teleportation. Whoa! Camera's being a little weird though. Alright, but that's alright. Okay. Touch the blue crystal, adjust the beam. So I will try to get that there. And then I will touch the blue crystal just to make sure this bridge is complete, which it looks like it is. So while I'm in the teleporting game, is there anywhere else I can teleport to that might be handy? Well, let's just see what can this guy do? I'm pretty sure that gold ring was probably a snake too. Oh wait, shit, he's got to stay on there. So he gets completely ruined if the beam is not on him. And I've already explored that area too. Alright, well I guess yeah, we'll just keep that one the same. And I will adjust the beam. And I will go back here. And I will go across the bridge. Wait, nope, stop. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Touch the blue crystal. Whoa. Okay. Yep. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Wait, right. Make a move. Clamber down. The lower level. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because this is all text that I've pretty much read before. Because I'm doing a lot of backtracking. I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to solve these puzzles quicker, but what you gonna do? Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Oh wait, shit, it's nighttime? Okay. I didn't realize it was... Oh shit, yeah, it's like almost daytime. Oops. During the past 8 cuts, I identified 2 of the Serpents mountain. Yeah, I got it. Oops. You pick your way down the slope and as the sun breaks your coach, these lands are not safe. I didn't even realize it was 9. I gotta pay more attention to the clock because that hasn't been doing so good for me. Alright. Whoop. Okay. Alright. This guy. You return up the winding path to the top of the mountain. The rising winds pull at your hair and cloak. Vancast is still waiting beside the bridge, apparently as immovable as a stone. He nods as you approach, gesturing to the bridge. The bridge is open for your way. I hope this time that you can pay. Again, you find yourself imagining the gale horn. Fine, take it, you jerk. Expecting the worst, you hand over the gale horn, but thankfully the curious creature does not discard it, but inside slips it into his tunic. With a last clear nod, the hunchback steps from the bridge and back into his hut, leaving the way clear for you to pass. Jerk. Taking the gale horn. You step onto the bridge. It is hot now. You're starting to sweat in your tunic. The flagstones laid across the bridge top form the straightest, smoothest road you have ever seen, finer even than the King's Road of Analand. You cast a look over the side of the walkway, and your head immediately begins to swim. The drop is immense. The ground lost far below in mist. How was this bridge built? How could it ever be repaired? Magic. Mid-afternoon haze makes the air sticky. You make your way onto the stones of the bridge, which form a broad, solid path. Below you, a thick marsh spreads north and south between the thin lines of mountains. You pause to look out across the view. Below, the marsh seems to fill the valley, from the Badubak Ridge to the west to the Horns of Ilkak on the east. Further south, there are some dry patches, but they appear featureless. It seems no one has even attempted to inhabit this area. A strong gust of wind blows across the bridge. The wind plucks at your cloak. Time to move on. You stride easily across the bridge, feeling like Herm, god of cloud cover, who walks the heavens as the day rolls by. It is a great pity whoever built this did not think to build a bridge all the way across Lake Ilklala. Man, that word's hard to say. Slowly, the sun begins to lower in the sky. There are no handrails here. Sitting by the sheer drop at the edge of the road is a starving-looking man, with legs folded beneath him and head bowed to the stone. He is perhaps asleep, or drunk, or dead. You touch him on the shoulder, and he sits up sharply. "Greetings and well met," he declares. "Spare a coin?" He slides a palm he perhaps does not have the energy to lift across the stone. "I'm a nice guy." You hand him a gold coin with a nod. "Use it wisely," you tell him. He nods. "Thank you, stranger." You open your mouth, preparing to ask the man for information in return for your gold. The words fail when the beggar holds your gold coin over the side of the bridge and let go. It twinkles as it sails out of sight. "That was careless." "What?" the man replies. "I dropped it. I didn't fumble it. I don't have the shakes. I'm not ill." "Then why did you do that?" you demand, somewhat outraged. "Isn't falling wonderful?" he says wistfully. "Not for the coin." "Oh, it's a short joy, I'm sure," he replies. "But the candle that burns twice as bright is twice as bright." He lies down and peers over the side of the bridge at the distant valley floor, lost in thought. You leave the man and move on along the bridge. Well, okay. That was fun. You reach the other side of the bridge. The sun lowers towards the horizon. Soon it will be dark. From here, a set of chiseled steps lead downward towards water. You feel cheered by the sight. You have crossed the horns of Ilk Lala. Now only the lake stands between you and the road to High Zaman. This is not a place to rest. You still have some way of travel before you are clear of the Bachlands. And I still have tons of serpents I've got to kill. You make your way down the mountainside slowly, being careful with your footing on the scree. Night falls. You should find somewhere safe to sleep, especially after going all day without eating. The road down the slope passes a small stone house. The aged wooden door stands a crack ajar. You peer inside the house. It is dark inside, but you can make out furniture coated by layers of dust. It seems that this place is no ruin, but it has clearly been uninhabited for some time. The door creaks on its worn hinges as you push it open. The inside of the hut is simple, but as you saw, well kept. In the center of the room is a table with one wooden stool, and in one corner is a straw mattress cot. A cauldron sits in a hearth with a roasting spit above it. By the far wall is a sculling boat. It is clear that the boat is an ornament, or else the owner intended to repair it, but made no progress. It has several planks missing, no paint, and woodworm has been burrowing constellations into its side, but once it must have been a serviceable coracle. You peer into the cauldron, but if there was ever anything edible inside, it has long since turned to dust. The pot is quite empty. You peer under the table, looking for trap doors or long lost items, but there is nothing of interest here. You push the door to and stretch out gratefully on the low cot. You have not yet eaten today, but your pack is empty and you cannot eat. You close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you. You seem guarded here, and you do not dream. You lost a bit of gold, reached Lake Ilk Lala, walked on the ancient and collect the sun serpent mean. There are 5 remaining. You get to your feet and stretch. Warm sunshine falls through the open south window of the house, making dust sparkle as it floats past. It's clear there's nothing here. You turn to go, and that is when you see the skeleton tied to the wall above the door frame. You stare up at it. The figure must have been a big man once. He has wide leg bones, now strapped with leather through iron pins hammered into the stone, and his shoulders are broad and stocky, now attached to hooks that still bear the trace of blood. His empty skull hangs low, sockets staring at the floor. Aside from the gruesome nature, there's something very strange about it all. Yeah, let's hit up a good old sus. Never can have too much sus. Oh, that's not a sus though. Don't see how big will help. Don't see how tell will help on a dead guy. Don't see how killing him would work because he's already dead. Res? Don't really remember what that does. Why would anyone go through the trouble of displaying him this way? It isn't public enough for an execution, but it's hardly surreptitious either. How did he get up there? There are no ladders or steps. He cannot have been pinned up there alive, unless it was done by a group of 10, or while he was unconscious or dead drunk. It is more likely, in fact, that he was pinned in place by some magic. The work of a sorcerer, then? Staring at the skeleton, you finally realize the most curious aspect of this macabre display. Where are the creature's belonging? Indeed, where are his clothes? The skeleton has not a scrap or rag of cloth on his bones, not a ring, boot, or hat. Whoever did this made sure to strip him of everything. Whatever for? You could cut him down and let him rest on his cot, at least, even if you do not have time for a burial. But there seems no way to reach him. I guess I'll do a big. Help this guy out, let him rest in peace. Consulting the constellation, you bind the spell, rapidly at 18 feet in height. You reach up and slice the straps around the skeleton's leg. Then you carefully lift him down from the hooks and carry him over to his cot. But there's nothing else to be done. You leave the hut to continue your walk. I wonder if I go back in time if I can save him. The path from the mountain joins the ancient road. Gradually you shrink back down to your normal size. The sky is blue and pink. You stand in the foothills of the mountains. Looking east, the wide waters of Lake Ilkala gleam in the sunlight. A high point in the rocks would make a good place to stop and eat. Just to the south is a deep fissure in the land, as though something gigantic has stepped its foot and cracked the earth. Up, is that the train again? Hi, train. How's it going? Alright, anyway. Let's rest here. You settle down on the rocks to regain something strength. To regain something strength? But before you manage to make yourself comfortable, you're disturbed by a deep rumble somewhere in the earth below. You stand up to leave, and your foot dislodges a chunk of rock, which rolls away toward the fissure. But then abruptly it stops, reverses direction, and begins to roll towards you. You stay put, and the rock shoots past you, impacting into dust against an overhang. The rumbling is growing louder. An even bigger explosion is coming. Let's do a walk. That's not what I want to do. Can I not do a wall? Let's puff. Not really what I want. I guess let's do a walk. Maybe that's better than nothing. I'm kind of wanting to shield myself. It's gonna burn a gold though, unfortunately. You place a gold piece on your wrist and cast a spell, and a moment later the coin is gone. You feel the weight of an invisible shield on your arm. The rock surface explodes and you are showered with falling stones. The rocks rain down, but bounce harmlessly off your shield. But you are knocked off your feet all the same. The ground opens up directly where you fall, forming the shape of a freshly dug grave. Oh, fun. Yay, pit bottom. You are at the bottom of a deep pit. Dust and small stones are still raining over the lip. Your shield shimmers out of existence. The walls of the pit are smooth, not carved, as though this pit had been drilled. There's no way to climb out. The earth below is creaking and hissing with steam. You are about 9 feet below the rim of the pit. You may be able to jump and grab the edge, but it is unlikely. Suddenly, a rocky protrusion breaks through the pit floor. It grows red. It is boiling hot. The spike of rock sticks up from the floor. It glows a deep and boiling red, and steam rises from the sides where it touches the cold air. As you consider your option, you feel something bite at your ankle. Alright, can I do a Zen? Zen might be one of my favorite spells now, honestly. Yeah. What is it? I don't know what that does. Zen! You bind the stars into a pattern around you, and the medallion begins to glow as you rise gently up into the air. You float up out of the pit, which fills with burning hot rocks and lava just as you escape. Well, that was fun. You are out of the pit, but the danger is by no means past. Cracks are radiating across the ground. One opens between your feet. You jump clear just in time to avoid being swallowed. Turning, you spot a large boulder on top of the rise where you pause to rest, teetering. You prepare to dodge, but find something is holding your leg. A small green snake has wrapped itself around your ankle and is attempting to bite. You draw your sword to run the creature through, when suddenly it begins to grow in size. The skin blisters and breaks, and a huge winged serpent made of crystals and rock coils up, spitting stone shards as it hisses. This must be the Earth Serpent itself. Great, because I don't know his weakness. You dig into your pack for something to use as a missile. Not the oil. I need that for the water snake. And I'm not going to throw my sword. That's just dumb. Shit. Nothing makes sense. You must try something else. Shit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to grab the serpent. That seems dumb. If I'm going based off Pokemon rules, he's weak to water. Or wind? Sap. This is probably not going to work on him. I don't know if there's anything I can do to do water. Sap. What's the fuck is Zob? I could try mud. The sorcery you're attempting to weave does not work. A focal object which you do not have is required for it to work. Shit. Wait, didn't I need sand? Maybe I... Oh, right, I used the sand on the fire serpent. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Maybe... Huff! That's wind. Is wind strong against rock? Well, what the hell. Let's try it. You work your enchantment, but it fails. You're like, oh, fucking shit. The serpent draws into attack. You draw your own sword, and I am so totally screwed. The serpent is massive, made of boulders and rocks, and you fear no sword strike will harm it. You backpedal across the cracking earth, raising your sword to cover yourself. The serpent replies with a crash of its boulder-like body. I will crush you, the serpent declares in gravelly tones. Oh god, oh no, oh god, oh hey, okay, I can do this. A quick slice bites into the serpent's stony scales. The serpent is moving to try and encompass you. Up. You stand your ground, twist up and drive your blade into its exposed belly. The ground itself seems to buckle and burst as the serpent howls in pain. Let's try another pretty solid one, maybe, please. Let's do a 6. Oh, shit. Well, that was a waste. You slice and sidestep, avoiding the serpent to land your attack. For a moment, the serpent seems to be solid stone, and the sword blades draw sparks from its stone skin. Your bones will be powder, the serpent intones. Okay, that was a good defend. The earth underfoot shivers and shakes. You drop away and ready a defense. Even defended, you cannot escape harm. I will bury you alive, the serpent says in a voice like tumbling rock. Aha! You cut, slash, and dodge. The serpent screams in rage as its own strike serves only to impale it further on your blade. Rock fragments and crack along the edges of the fissure. Oh, rock fragments and crack. Okay, that's a verb. Yay, I can read. The creature coils its scaly body. Alright, I think it's probably going to defend, so let's do a small one. It's probably going to wreck me, though. Oh, hey! I smarted! I did a smartness! You swing violently and then lean back along the edge of the fissure. The serpent roars and thrashes, but it cannot stop your blade from catching it as it tries to retreat. The creature roars, spitting floods of dirt and stone across the shaking ground. The creature's claws rake along the stone with a spine-chilling noise, so I'm going to defend. I'm scared. Oh, well, balls. Okay. You take a step away and prepare your guard as the serpent lashes out with the full length of its mace-like tail. Your grave will be 1,000 paces deep, the serpent tells you. See, I'm still worried that it's gonna do a big strike, so let's defend. Oh, okay, good. Yay. Alright. That's fine. You stay low. Diamond eyes narrow and watch you. Alright, let's do a fairly hefty one. Let's do a 5 because I think it's gonna do a low. Okay. Alright, that's good. It's good. A heavy slash cuts through the serpent's rocky skin. The serpent roars and the ground shakes, but you have wounded it. A distant avalanche echoes up the valley. The creature turns its long body. Now let's go do a little bit higher. Let's do a 6.5. Okay, that's good. That's good. You cut and sidestep, slipping past the serpent to land your blow. Rocks and stones are raining from the cracks in the creature's body. You will never again see the stars, the serpent declares without compassion. So the question is can I beat it out? I can go up to a 6, but if I don't, let's just defend for now. Let's play it safe. Okay, good. You take a short distance from the serpent. My ground will swallow you alive, the serpent intones. All right, let's do it. Full power. Ah, take that. I killed it. You leap forwards, moving along the very edge of the fissure, blade high above your head. The earth serpent's eyes crumble to dust, and then its body gives out, one gemstone at a time. 5 stamina lost, skilled swordplay. You damn right, skilled swordplay. I killed one of the serpents without even knowing its weakness. All right, go me. Hell yeah, continue. The creature falls to the earth, dead now. Oh, yeah, you get to hear the epic music this time, right? You sheathe your sword and wipe the sweat away from your brow. You have now defeated 3 of the 7 serpents. Your weight returns and you settle gradually back down to the ground. The rocks around are smooth and unbroken. The whole thing might have been a dream, but for the piles of stone dust that cover the ground. You gather up the stone dust into your pack. You need to rest and recover. You search for the serpents. Your search for the serpents so far is taking its toll. Well, I definitely don't want to go here now because I know I'm about to get wrecked if I do that. I need to find a way to heal before I take on the water serpent. Let's see, and there's two things, you know, magic things. I don't know. See, somehow I feel like the holy water is going to come in handy. Hmm. Wait, what was my clues though? I'm curious what the stone serpent's weakness was. Earth serpent. Yeah, I know I left the moon serpent behind. I'm gonna try to. If I don't find any clues about how to help defeat the moon serpent, I'm gonna come back for him. Because I'm pretty sure he's still in the same location. But I don't know. Maybe not. It's air serpent's weakness. Body's vulnerable. Water serpent's weakness is vulnerable to oil. Um, sun is vulnerable to water. Um, hmm. I mean, I don't think drinking the holy water will really help me heal. Also, I'm fairly certain I'm going to need that later. So let's try to keep that. I guess let's just head north and hope I can find a place to rest. The road curves gently as you follow it. As the morning moves on, the wind begins to rise. The stone underfoot turns into carved slabs buried by layers of dust. It seems you are walking along what was once a wide flagstone road. You pause to look in the cracks between the stones, hoping to perhaps find a gold piece or two buried under the topsoil. But there is nothing. This place has been scoured bare by the wind of centuries. You stride on. Follow the road. Follow the yellow brick road. You continue to walk along the road. The sun continues to climb the steep sky. A little dust blows across the surface of the ancient road. Suddenly, you hear the sound of hoofbeats. Something is coming towards you along the old stones. The next thing you know, you are knocked flying by a low armored creature. It is a roach pig. Nah, dog. Let me hit up some of that juice spell book. Uh, Yap is the speaking thing. Oh, I can jig it. I love jig. Yeah. Can I make it dance? Pulling the pipe from your pack, you cast a spell. The pig abruptly halts his charge and then awkwardly shuffles up onto its hind legs and begins to sway from side to side. You keep playing, directing the creature to hop, skip, and run along the old flagstones until it is far out of sight. It is wobbling, bloated form makes for quite a cheerful sight. When it is out of sight, you lower your pipe. You continue to march. Maybe I should have killed it so I could eat it, but whatever, I'm a nice guy. Hey, ruined village, can you help me not be dead? The road curves gently as you follow it. The mid-afternoon heat fills the valley. The road passes between the pillars of a ruined stone gate and then opens out onto a wide plaza of low ruins. The pillars were maybe once carved. One is set with what looks like a jaguar, the other some kind of winged goat. Perhaps this place was once walled? But there is nothing there now. Pillars are covered in patches of green moss. Yes, eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Wait, no, this isn't the good moss? Oh, balls. I thought this was the good moss. You pop the moss into your mouth and chew. A moment later, you are gagging and choking. This moss is foul and disgusting, with a flavor like rotting meat. You spit the moss on the ground. Dang, I really needed that moss. Door frames jut from the unforgiving sands. Windows stare like dead eyes from buildings molded into the rising cliff itself. This place must have been magnificent once, but now even the specters must have been shredded by the wind. The silent city echoes to the sound of your footsteps on the road. You are aware you are headed away from Zaman, not towards it, but perhaps the ruins of this place will have something to aid you. Please, please have something to aid me? I'm so hurt. You follow the outline of a street onto the first of several open plazas. It seems this was once a city, hewn in vertical layers into the northern cliff face itself, now as though a great clawed creature has scratched it from existence. A few dwellings remain, but most are broken piles. Only one structure remains standing, a tower that rises somewhere to the west. Heat beats down from a cloudless sky. The foul flavor of the moss from the gate still has not quite left your mouth. When I thought it was a good thing. Let's explore the ruins first before I go back in time. See if there's anything good. The ruins of the city are quite extensive. Whatever happened here, it scooped away great sections of the city, as though the streets were raked by gigantic claws. What if I get into a serpent fight? Oh well. Grandest houses are those near the cliff face. Further from the slope, the dwellings become smaller and less remains. The afternoon is drawing on. Let's check out the high city. You head upwards towards the cliff face, jumping over cracks in the ground and then clambering from the roof of one of the buildings onto the gaping doorway of the next. Mosaics on the floor and painted walls speak of great wealth, but their patterns can no longer be discerned. You search every corner and look through every window and crack, but you find nothing. It seems that when whoever lived here left, they took everything they could carry with them. On the highest street above the city, you find a house, perhaps the grandest so far, whose stones are daubed in bright red paint. You look inside the walls of the red painted house. Nothing remains, of course, just the outlines in the stone of a small room with a fire pit at the back. Something white lies in the hearth, perhaps the remains of something long since burned. You go over to the fireplace, and what look at first like discarded dice turn out to be a set of teeth. You turn them over in your hands, trying to place what creature they are from. Giant? Impossible, they are too small. Goblin? No, though they are curved and cruel, they lack the rough edges of a goblin's tooth. Then it strikes you that they resemble nothing so much as a cat's teeth, only they are each the size of your thumb. These are most likely teeth from the Snaticats of the forest to the west. Place them in your pack. Perhaps they will be useful to you at some point. You continue along the curving street until you pass a large doorway in the surprisingly intact ruins of a hall. Lying in the doorway is what looks like a massive, oversized finger. Oops. You hurry on, not wanting to disturb whatever lies there. Your loop of the upper city is finished. The sun is beginning to lower. The air begins to cool. I actually did want to check that out, but I clicked the wrong button. So, I guess let me do the low city and see if it'll give me another chance to look at that. You walk through the ruins of the buildings that spread across the floor of the valley. One seems to be a large warehouse, and whatever is stored there has been taken by the winds long ago. You pick your way over a low wall into the shattered outline of a family home. A vague depression in one corner indicates an old fire pit. You scratch in the dirt of the fire pit for a time, but find nothing beyond a few shards of broken pottery. You leave the old house by what was once the doorway. Scratched on the doorstep is a chiseled mark, perhaps a drawing of some kind. You squat to examine the marks. They were perhaps once more detailed, and are almost worn away by the scouring dust. A cat, large and striped, is curled up into a ring for warmth. Can I do a how? Yeah, how? What do you do? You craft a spell and steady voice begins to speak to you. The voice tells you that the city is now empty, though not entirely without its dangers, particularly in the upper half of the city. With that, the spell fades. There's nothing more to be done. You loop through another house but find nothing. These streets have been reduced to mere marks in the dust. There are no signs left to tell you what happened here. Nothing more to be discovered. The sun is sinking. Alright, well, let's go to the tower then, I guess. You follow the line of a broken street until you reach the base of the tower. Somehow amidst all the leveled buildings, its walls stand firm. The door opens easily. The inside of the tower is much like the others you have seen, except that perhaps it was once decorated. The walls are hung with rotten strings and are set with empty candle brackets. In the gloom, you see something rumbling at the far side of the tower. You draw your sword, and the figure erupts from the shadows. It is a moon serpent! Are you fucking kidding me? It is larger than you last saw it, with its jaws wide in delight at the thought of taking your neck. You strike a spark from the tinderbox, and it jumps onto the serpent. The fire seems to catch onto the serpent's wing, and it howls as they burn. The serpent falls to the ground, still furious, but heavily weakened. There's no way to escape it. You draw your sword and prepare to fight. Alright, let's take down another serpent with only 4 stamina. Alright, on the plus side, I know I can beat it out because it is weak. So let me just start off with... because I can't even block is the problem. So I just have to beat it out. Is my only hope. You ready your blade. Even though it is weakened, you will need your wits about you against this foe. Then you swing fast and high, hoping you strike deep into the serpent's scaly hide. The serpent stumbles forward, tracing a painful arc towards you with crescent moon teeth barred. The silvery glow around the creature seems to wane a little. Cold gathers around the edges of the serpent's mouth. Alright, let's do... because I gotta play it a little safe here. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank Christ. I got this. You press your advantage, knowing only too well this is a fight to the death. A rapid slash cuts through the serpent's half-moon scales. The serpent is moving to try and encompass you. You hold your ground and drive your blade into its open jaw. Silvery moons are winking out across the creature's long back. The serpent's skin lessens in color. Okay, let's go. Let's go, baby. We got this. Oh, yes! Take that! You stupid jerk. You keep on cutting at the serpent. You slice and move, avoiding the worst of the serpent's icy gas. The moon serpent's eyes close to narrow crescents, then fall dark. Its body seems to crumble before your eyes. No stamina lost. Flawless fighting. stupid snakes. You have now defeated 4 of the 7 serpents. You fall back to the ground, gasping for relief. The tower falls silent as the moon serpent's body seems to smoke away, leaving only a crystal orb behind. You have dealt with more than half of the deadly serpents. You pick up the orb and turn it over in your hands. It seems to be just as it appears to be, a crystal ball, useful for spellcasting. You could go up the tower or back out into the street. Yes! So not only did I take down 2 serpents in a row, but I did the second one without even losing a single stamina. So, ha! Take that, stupid snakes. You're on so tough. This tower also has a brass cylinder set into its center, with a glowing crystal at its heart. From here, the plan of the old city is quite clear, winding streets and blocks leading towards and then up the cliff face that has been scrubbed clear. The stain of human habitation still remains. Looking out across the city, it seems you can see 2 time periods at once, one fitting on top of the other, but it's impossible to tell which is true and which is a mask. You watch a child running down a street, only to turn the corner and disappear. You watch a dog spring into existence mid-leap. A building throws yellow smoke in the air, but when the smoke clears, the building is ruined and broken. You cannot tear your eyes away. Every time the street clears or a building falls, you fear your anger towards the Archmage rising. The desolation here is complete. The people you see are both still living and already long destroyed. You activate the beacon and it sweeps into life. Well, let's make us a city, I guess. Because I really want to, I would very much like to sleep and eat and have good, happy, not getting killed by snake times. That would be wonderful. So let's do like that. I think that's the best I can do. You adjust the cylinder, now almost accustomed to the curious effect of the magical light. It seems to bring the dust of this dead land to life and a sunbeam picking out motes in the darkness. You feel better having touched the cylinder. Oh, hey! But I have much better stamina anyway. So let's go see if I can find somewhere to sleep. Turn down the tower steps. Away from the tower. Head off into the city once more. Darkness closes in. You need to rest, especially after so much walking on an empty stomach. The streets are quiet. Then candlelight flickers from the windows of the houses. Valley. Let's find an inn. I do have 1 gold. You search the streets until you come across a building with its door wide open, and a desk inside. Though there is no sign that you will recognize, it is most likely an inn. The owner greets you as you enter with a bowed head. Welcome, stranger. Greetings. Oh, it's a girl. Oops. Greetings, she returns, bowing her head. You are new to our city? I am. I imagine you are heading for Mampang, she glares. I can tell. You have the look of a sorcerer. What look is that, you ask? Your eyes have more black than white in them. Too much looking at the stars. She smiles. We have many cots for sleeping. Each is 5 gold pieces, but they're clean and quiet. You smile and head out of the inn once more. Alright, yeah, I guess I can't afford that. Sleep in an alley, like a great triumphant hero. You find a quiet alley between 2 stone buildings to settle down. You should be reasonably protected from the elements here. Laying your pack down on the flagstones, you try to stretch out despite the wind. You have eaten nothing today, but you have no rations to nourish yourself. You lie back and try to forget your troubles. You dream you are trapped in a low straw hut, its door sealed with bolts made of bones. A small fire is burning in one corner but quickly spreads until you are surrounded by flame. You feel yourself starting to sweat from the heat. And you wake up to find a ball of fire raging mere inches from you. You shrink away, but the fireball simply follows you, seeming to float into the air. A moment later, it unravels, uncurling into a long animal form. It is a firefox. Oh, cool. I get internet access. And it is coming from your neck in a blaze of fur and fire. How about Nah Dog? Nah Dog, get it? Because it's a wolf. It's a wolf. Get it? Hot's probably not gonna do a damn thing. I can't remember. This is the problem with losing my damn spell book. Stupid Kare. What a jerk. Let's try rock. I think I have stone, right? Rock. Cast. Reaching out your credits. Reaching up to the stars, you create the magic, tossing a handful of stone dust at the firefox. But the creature balls up into flame once more, and the stone dust burns to sparks in a moment. It's gone. Then is upon you. You draw your form and sword and ready to fight. If you tame the firefox, you can become an internet explorer. That's pretty good, for long. Well done. Alright, I'm just gonna try to beat it to death. Yeah! Yeah, take that. Firefox faces the earth before you, sparks of fire flashing across its fur. Driven by fear, you charge headlong. It rushes you, balling up and igniting as it flies through the air, only to skewer itself on your blade. It twists and writhes. The monster crouches down and snarls. Let's do a low one. Okay, not bad. As you risk a lunge, the blow catches the firefox as it dodges back. As the firefox grows weaker, its eyes grow redder, but its fur begins to turn ash gray. It scratches at its fur. Let's do another small one. Boop. Not wanting to leave yourself open, you try a gentle stinging strike, but your sword cannot reach the firefox before it leaps. Ah, take that, jerk. You bring your sword about for a wild blow, and the strike catches the beast deep. The firefox collapses, and then a moment later ignites with a powerful flare. The fire burns for a short instant, and when it fades, the creature has a tight skin around bones with no flesh left. No stamina lost. Flawless fighting. Comes back, exhausted and scorched from the encounter. Like the rest of the night will be more peaceful. The creature has no possessions, of course, but it has a fine array of teeth, including 4 front fangs that seem to glow with a faint heat. With the tip of your sword, you dig out the first of the creature's fangs, but as you tug it free, the tooth cracks and suddenly erupts into flame. You drop it smartly, and the fire burns a moment longer before going out. Rubbing your scalded palm ruefully, you leave the rest of the teeth. You are in no mood for any more bloody work. Time to rest. Sleeping rough. Day 17. You lost a little gold, explored the city of Tinpang, and you collected the Sun Serpent, the Earth Serpent, and the Moon Serpent. So you now have destroyed 4 of the Archmage's serpents. You pick yourself to your feet as the sounds of the city begin to gather pace around you. The night has been cold and rough, and you are glad to be moving once more. The streets are alive with activity. People roam the streets, calling to one another and talking. Musicians stand on street corners, playing lively jigs to passerby. A nearby building pumps yellow-tinged smoke into the air. You make your way along the busy, bustling streets, marveling at all the people. Their faces express the usual range of thoughts and feelings: happiness, fear, anxiety, humor. They do not seem to realize they are no better than ghosts, that once the light from the towers moved away, they will be long dead once more. Let's explore this town because I need food and stuff. You approach the smoking building. From inside there comes a cacophony of sound, crashing and booming as though a rock demon was inside, fighting against its chains. You move to push open the heavy wooden door when a small boy grabs your arm. Are you supposed to be inside? He asks. No, you tell him. I'm merely passing by. The boy nods, and his manner becomes cold. The mine is not open to visitors by command of the Archmage. Please move on. He bars the doorway with his tiny body. What's inside? The boy asks. The boy shakes his head, refusing to reply. You shrug indifferently and walk away from the building. The boy waits, watching until you have turned a corner out of sight. That was weird. You follow the winding, climbing step streets into the upper reaches of the city. Low hovels and clustered dwellings are replaced by larger buildings, masons, palaces, and central offices. You pass a familiar building daubed in rain paint with 2 doors. Above one door is a sign with a picture of a fanged tooth. Above the other is a metal implement that looks like a pair of tongs. Let's open the tong door. You open the door to find it leads into a wide hall, which the other door also opens onto. In a large chair at one end sits a man with a tight-fitting leather cap. On a low table at his elbow rests an array of metal implements. He stands as you enter. Oh, this is strange. Greetings, declares the merchant. Are you here to buy or sell? A strange question, since there appears to be nothing on sale, unless the goods are all behind the curtain that covers the back wall. What is your trade? You ask, puzzled. He seems surprised. You didn't see the sign? But I see nothing on sale. My wares are sufficiently valuable, he purrs, that I keep them out of sight, as you might imagine. He shuffles a few documents on the low table by his arm. But I do take it, then, that you are simply not in the market for teeth? Teeth? Indeed, teeth of all kinds. What kinds of teeth do you sell? I have a few rarities in my possession today. A genuine firefox tooth, 2 snatacat teeth, and my prized possession, the tooth of a rock demon. How much for the rock demon? Ah, he replies with a gleam. You are a man of taste, I see. Squicks! He snaps his fingers, and a stooped figure appears from the back, carrying an enormous crystal rock. It's clearly extremely heavy. It is in perfect condition, you see. Virtually flawless. Yours for a mere 32 gold pieces. You look over. The two shape is indistinct, ridges and whorls in a crystal cube. The sense of magic surrounding it is palpable. That is too much. Too much is the price my servant paid in getting it, the merchant replies. You will have to believe me on that, as the poor woman is no longer here to demonstrate her injuries. You politely decline. It's still too much for me. You close your pack in your money pouch. He shrugs, clearly having already marked you for not a big spender. I have something perhaps to sell. Excellent, he leans forward keenly. Your own teeth or those of others? You would buy my teeth? Indeed I would. The man peers closely at you, then nods. One of your molars, perhaps. A molar from good stock is always a precious commodity. How much for a molar? For one of yours, well, he sighs a happy sigh. I would say 30 gold pieces at least. You're strong and intelligent. I can see that much from the curve of your incisors. Would that seem fair to you? Yeah, that's weirding me out. My teeth are not for sale, you tell him. He nods. Very well. Do you have anything else of interest to me? I have a creature's teeth to sell, you tell him. And from what creature? Snatacat. His eyes light up. A most useful tooth indeed, he exclaims, and very hard to come by. I will give you 8 gold pieces per tooth. I hope that is acceptable. That is too little. 10 then, but I cannot go higher. You take out 3 teeth and hand them over. The merchant whistles for a lackey, who takes them into a back room and returns with 30 gold pieces. Anything else? I don't want to sell my goblin teeth because I can use them for magic. And 31 gold pieces is more than I've ever had in this game, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good. You close your pack. I have nothing more to offer you. So what's you open your arms to raise a spell, but the merchant catches your arm. Try if you must, he says, but we have a Minimite chained up in the back room. We don't want people testing out the merchandise in the shop, you understand. Alright, well that's good enough for me. There's nothing more to do here. With a final nod to the man, you turn to the street. You move along. The streets are quieter here, with fewer passers-by. There's still no guards, no soldiers, no priests, no children playing. As though the whole city is purely a place of workers and foremen. A mining town, perhaps. You stop in a plaza. A woman passes by, wearing a wrapped headscarf and carrying what looks like a basket of rocks. Greetings, I'm new in this city. She nods quickly. Then you are welcome, I'm sure. She seems in a hurry to move on. No doubt her basket is heavy. Can I carry that for you? You ask. Most assuredly not, she exclaims. I would not be doing my work if I gave it away. She takes a wary step backwards, almost stumbling under her weight. And where do you work? You continue. At the warehouse, of course. She waves with her nose at the building with the yellow smoke. What work do? You continue. I carry things, she answers briskly. She pulls her scarf tighter. Forgive me, but I must do my work. With that, she scurries away down into the street and disappears. Town's kind of giving me a weird vibe here. You take a turn down the narrower alleys of the city, picking your way between sleeping dogs and rubbish heaps, until suddenly a tiny hand reaches out to catch your ankle. Knew you were there, see, groans a voice. Tell you more if you want. Who's there? You demand. No reason you should know me. You still cannot see the speaker, but the tiny hand seems to emerge from a pile of rotting vegetables. You look more closely and spy 2 eyes between cabbage leaves and goat bones. I see you, I see you, the voice declares cheerfully. For 1 gold piece, I'll tell you your fortune. How's that? Well, I got plenty of gold pieces now, so whatevs. You toss a gold piece in the pile of garbage, and the voice makes a noise which sounds like swallowing. Then all falls quiet. There, I see it now, the voice declares finally. I see a ball of flame near the still sleeping cat. Huh. Okay. What does it mean? I have no idea, the voice replies. But I understand this. I am never wrong. Well, rarely at least. You walk away down the alley. Alright, well, that was a strange town. You leave the city by the moaning winds talking to the road along. So teeth, the arch pillars you saw earlier have built themselves up into an arch which spans the road, casting a deep shadow as you walk through. Carved into lintel stones in the old hand are 2 pictograms. I wish I could have gotten some food there. First symbol is for metal. The second is for pain. This, it proclaims, is the city of Tinpang, city of miners. Alright, well I think I have enough to take on the water serpent, so let's go do that while I got good stamina. You follow the old road. The road seems to break and shatter as you walk. The sun is hot now. You walk onwards. The road curves gently as you follow it. The sun has reached its highest point now. Out of the shade, the air is baking hot. The cold wind moves between the cracked flagstones. You continue on your journey, beginning to feel hungry. Shame that that city didn't have any food. You follow the road as it curves and bends and finally begins to descend until it reaches the shores of the lake. Like maybe if I go back there at night, I can eat. Looking out across the vast expanse of still water which stretches to the horizon, your resolve grows. How can you cross? There are no signs of either people or boats. The far shore is nothing but a blur against the sky. For an hour you wait. The sun begins to dip, heading towards the horizon, but apart from the occasional small animal darting around the waterline, the area seems to be completely deserted. Half an hour later, there are still no signs of intelligent life around the shore. You begin to realize it is likely you will wait for a very long time for the means to cross Lake Ilkala. It must be possible to cross the lake, but only if you can summon the ferryman. In the distance over the water, a few bird-like creatures turn in the sky. The sound of the whistle scuds across the open water. A few minutes later, the undergrowth nearby begins to rustle. All right, comes a grumbling voice from beneath the leaves. Hold your horses, I'm coming. What's your rush? You are the ferryman, you call? I will be in a moment, if you just give me a second, he answers. You hear a sound which might well be the pulling on of trousers. The man emerges from a bush, a scruffy, unwashed individual, somewhat overweight, but with the shoulders of an ox, that he no doubt needs to pull across the water all day. He scratches his chest thoughtfully. Greetings! And greetings to you, yon scruffy tramp, he replies, scratching his nose as he speaks. Now, where to? Wait. He smiles. Of course you wants to cross the lake, he laughs. Everyone wants to cross the lake. Everyone that's around these parts, anyway. I still ask you, where to? It's my little jest. He wipes a little tear from his eyes. Right then. Whenever you want to cross the lake, 4 gold pieces. I want to wait because... Oh, you wave him away. I'll find another way. Ferryman rolls his eyes. I'm here now, aren't I? Let's be doing this. He disappears into the undergrowth once more and reappears a few moments later, dragging a heavy boat behind him. Give me a hand, idiot. See, the problem is I feel like he's going to get eaten by the water snake, is how I feel like this is going to go. I feel like I'm going to get this guy killed. Oh well. I don't see any other way around it. Together you pull the boat into the water. It bobs and rocks in the shallows, but seems seaworthy enough. Then he pushes you out onto the water and hops aboard himself. Alright, it's go time. Hey, watch, Serpent. Let's do this. Wait, did I walk through the night again? The boat slides away from the shore. The sun is dropping down to the west. It will be night soon. The boat drifts. The ferryman stands at the prow, scanning the water. You going to the ancient road? He asks. All the way to High Zaman? The ancient road? Used to be a thriving settlement, this. One of the most powerful cities in the world. Before the curse, of course. The curse? You've walked the wilds, I say. You've seen it. Nothing stays real for long around here. Things don't happen in the right order. Unstuck. The whole place. Glancing down at the oar still resting in the boat, and then at you, he shrugs his wide, heavy shoulders. Plenty of places to see on Lake Ilklala, he muses, and a few below. He hefts his poles and stares away into the distance. Okay, well, let's get murdered, maybe? The ferryman pulls the boat onward across the water. The sun is now in the lowest quarter of the sky. Soon it will be dark. It seems you have reached a part of the lake that is too deep for the pole. The ferryman points sharply at you and snaps, Take the oars, fool, and start rowing! Somehow his manner seems to have changed quite suddenly, his tone altogether more aggressive. You shrug and take the oars. The water is thick and heavy, and every stroke is tiring work. The ferryman is silent, watching you as you struggle forwards through the water. I kind of want to go back and sleep, though. You continue sculling the boat while ferryman steers with the pole. The sun is almost set, and the sky has turned a deep purple. From his place at the prow, the ferryman watches you thoughtfully. You been to Tenpang, he asks? You from there? Why do you ask, you reply, suspecting his question conceals more below its surface. Strange place, Timpang, ferryman replies. Was destroyed a long time ago. Turned into a ruin. Completely abandoned. Long time ago. People still come down the road, time and again, wanting ferrying from there. It's most of my trade. Where do they go, these people, you ask? Now that is a good question. And the strange thing is, all different places. Some are heading for the Horns, trying to get across them since the bridge is gone. Others want the Zaman Road, but are meaning to turn south to the sea. Others still think the fortress will harbor them. The fortress? The fortress of sorcerers. That's what Mompang was called before it became Mompang. before the Archmage really came into his own. Ferryman tests the water with his poles, but it's still too deep. Do you visit in the islands? The islands? He replies with surprise. Now, why would they do that? All the islands are empty. Were they always empty? Most likely not. Used to be a busy lake, this. The ferryman chuckles. Well, the ferryman replies with a twinkle in his eyes, I can see you'll never be setting foot in Tinpang anyhow. You've come with the reach of the North Shore. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on this for now. You roll onwards under the ferryman's guidance. I'll get out of here, you say. He tips his hat as you approach the land. Call if you need me again, he remarks as he ships away. Another night begins. You should try to find a sleep, especially after going all day without food. The shore. Yeah, I'm guessing I have to walk along the shoreline to get the water snake. Let's see if I can go back to town real quick and actually have a good sleep. Darkness. You pause to look either side of the darkness. To the east, a little shine indicates the start of the waters of Lake Ilkala, and you must cross to reach the Zanzunu peaks. To the north, you are hemmed in by mountains. From somewhere overhead, something shrieks. Wait, no, 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 no. Let's go back to the city. You continue following the road. Gray dust drifts across the surface. You stride forwards. Head for the city. The road curves gently as you follow. You begin to hear the distant sound chatter, and the cart wheels as the moon sets. More stars appear. Road past the North Star into the city. Night streets are quiet. Wait, can I not? Oh, but I have money now. I have money. Why? This is how much money. When I have money, you can't. Oh, I guess I'll sleep in the tower. Oh man, that's stupid. Please don't kill me, snakes. Sleep here. There's nothing. Man, I could have afforded food too. Oh, stupid inn. They're like, oh man, he's poor. Not gonna stay there, jerks. Alright, well, let's go. I was hoping that I could actually eat and rest, but I guess let's go try to take on the water serpent. Ba-do-do-do-do-do-do. Ba-do-do-do-do-do. Continue march. South. And across the lake shore. The lake shore. Okay, walk along the shoreline. For several strides, you follow the sandy shore eastward, but find nothing of note. The shoreline ends in a collapsed seawall. It seems there was once harbor of some kind. You walk back and try the other way. Again, you come across nothing that might help you get across. Sound of the whistle scuds across the open water. A few minutes later, the undergrowth nearby begins to whistle. You blow another blast on the whistle. All right, comes a grumbling voice from between the leaves. Hold your horses, I'm coming. What's your rush? I wish your cries like Ilk Lala, you declare. I figured as much myself, he replies cautious, and I'll take you, of course I will. The man emerges from a bush, a scruffy, unwashed individual, somewhere but shoulder. Greetings. Now, where to? I told you, of course you want to cross the... You pay him the money. He disappeared. Give me a hand, idiot. Help him. While he's getting the boat. Help support himself. Away from the shore. So then where's the water snake? What can you tell me of the seven serpents? The seven serpents, he replies? Well, there are seven of them, but there's only one you need to worry about. Which one? You'll see soon enough. His expression is distant and glazed over. Tell me about the ancient road. You continue. There is no reply. He does not seem to have heard you. His face is unstatic and unmoving. You go for your sword as the ferryman's jaw drops impossibly low and a plume of thick smoke emerges from between his teeth. His body remains in place for a moment, then collapses like a limp sack, slithering into the bottom of the boat. Yeah, see, I kind of figured that. Wait, the gas. Wait, is this not the water serpent? If he's... Because it sounds like... It kind of sounds like the air serpent. If it leaves its body as a gas. But this has got to be the water serpent, though. Remains in place for a moment, then collapses like moving found the boat. I should have tried to call him out while we were on the shore, but you bend down towards the ferryman. Nothing remains but a pile of clothing. The swirling creature overhead becomes agitated, starts to flicker and waft in your face. Its gas is choking noxious. There's a choking smell filling your nostrils. Up. Let's see. Well, I don't really have an item. Cast a spell. I can try Huff. Get out of here. You attempt to cast a spell, but something is not present that it requires, so the magic fails. The gas forms the shape of the winged serpent. This must be the serpent of air. Prepare to die, it cries, as tendrils of its gaseous form begin to enter your nose and eyes. See? Okay, so I guess I screwed up because I thought that was a water serpent. You draw your sword, swinging at the cloud of gas above your head. It passes harmlessly through. A moment later, the gas converges for a moment into the form of a tooth and mouth, long enough to take a bite from your arm. The serpent is now fully formed, but extends one airy tendril up into your nostril as a terrible smell. A moment later, that tendril solidifies inside your brain. Your death is, at least, painless. Your brain has been pierced by the air serpent? Okay, well, I didn't do so hot on that one. Alright, let's start again, I suppose. Weird, and I thought this was supposed to be the water serpent, but alright. Follow the road down. Or did I already kill the water serpent? I can't remember. No, I'm pretty sure I still have the oil. Whatever. Blow the whistle. Wait. It's your rush. I must reach Rockpang and cover the Crown of Kings. Is that right? The man emerges from a bush. Scruffy, unwashed, greetings. 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 I wish to cross the lake. Everyone. Of course he wants to cross. Everyone wants to cross. Everyone he wipes the tears. Seeing as you're on some kind of crowning mission, he continues, I'll charge you just one gold piece. How's that? You wave him away. I'll find another way. The ferryman rolls his eyes. I'm here now, aren't I? Let's be doing this. Your crown won't wait. He disappears in a grove from the pistol dragging heavy. Give me a hand, idiot. He huffs and puffs the boat into the water. Something about this doesn't feel right. You shake your head. I will go my own way, you declare. It's a big late, he replies. I'm quite sure, you tell him. As you like. You step out as the boat drifts away. And don't bother blowing that whistle, he calls. I'll know to ignore that. With that, he is gone. So it seems this harbor walk the other way. She cannot turn back. Well, dang. Must be. Did I just screw up? Do I have to fight him on the boat somehow? I guess let's leave and try to come back. Hey, buddy, I'm sorry. I know you're an evil snake and all, but... Well, I guess I just scared him off. Doop, 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 doop. So I was just, you fall into a steady stroke through the water. After so long walking, it's almost a pleasant change to swim. Well, here, let's see. What was the air snake's weakness? It leaves its body as a gas. Its body... Oh, I was supposed to stab the body, I guess. Oh well. Live and learn, I suppose. You swim on through the water. It's exhausting work. Night falls. You need to rest, especially after so long swimming with an empty belly. A shoal of brightly colored fish pass by, just under the surface. One nips at your fingers with tiny teeth. You watch as one tiny fish clamps your thumb with tiny needle-like teeth and sucks a few drops of blood. You turn the table swiftly, lifting the fish to your mouth and biting it in half. It is succulent, if somewhat bony. The rest of the shoal immediately turns about and approaches you on the attack. You splash at the water desperately. To your relief, the shoal turns about in a flash and is gone. You swim quickly away before they can return. You try to sustain a regular stroke as you swim. You pause for a moment, treading water and catching your breath. The size of the lake is beginning to dawn on you. But thinking about it can do no good. You set your mind to swimming. You have swum within reach of the bay of the low island. You will need to go ashore and recover. You haul yourself gratefully onto the shoreline. More stars come out. There is no way to cross the water in the dark, and exploring inland would be unwise. You will have to rest here. Putting down your pack on the shore of the lake, you try to rest despite the shivering cold of your still wet clothing. You close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you. The night is kept busy with vivid dreams. You hang limp from across a wood thousands of feet up in the air. A flock of crows are slowly rising, intent on taking your eyes, and all the while you hear distant laughter from the east. Collected the Sun Serpents have now defeated 4 of the 7 Serpents of Mompang. The sun rises above the waters of the lake. The island is thickly wooded, but all the trees have died, and the whole forest is gray and desolate. In the shadow stands a tall pole from which hangs a bell. The bell is set with a silver clapper attached to a rope. The wind shifts a moment, bringing with it a terrible stench that the smell is gone. You pull the bell rope, but nothing happens. Looking up, you see the clapper of the bell has been lost. You seat yourself by the lake shore to meditate and recover your strength. A few clouds furl and unfurl in the sky. You get to your feet feeling much better. You look through your pack for something to throw at the bell. You toss a pebble at the bell. It rings with a clear note, but your missiles bounce away into the water of the lake and sink out of sight. Nothing happens. Black, gloomy clouds roll across the sky, flowing from the east. You move away from the shore and onto the tree cover of the land. You head away from the shoreline into the trees. You walk up the path from the shore to a small clearing in a dead forest. At the center is something that used to be a hut, but now is just 3 rickety walls with part of a roof. Inside, an old woman is hunched over a table scattered with vials, broken jars, and plants you don't recognize. She's mixing some kind of bright green paste and is so absorbed in her work she doesn't notice you. The woman mutters to herself as she steadily grinds the mixture. Her white hair is on one wild clump that reaches her waist. She's wearing a filthy brown robe, which might actually be a sack. She looks up from her work to paw around the table, eventually grabbing some berries and tossing them in. Half of the ingredients in her rundown hut you cannot name, but she appears to know what she is doing. She must be a healer, or else a witch. Greeting, wise woman. My apologies for the intrusion. She squints at you, sucking on her few teeth with a wet pop. What? Who are you? I'm on a quest. Quest? Ha! She replies. Quests are no good. Leaving home will get you killed, you know. I only ever leave my island for ingredients. Ingredients, you ask? For my potions, she says, waving over her shoulder at a shelf groaning with concoctions in jars. These islands are brimming with herbs and dirt clumps I've never seen before. They probably all have 100 uses. After so long in this cruel wilds, this woman makes for an unexpectedly pleasant company. What do your potions do? I can never be sure, she replies with a shrug. I experiment. I push the boundaries of the healing arts. I've created several new recipes that you won't find anywhere else. That sounds most interesting. Most indeed, she replies fervently. See, I studied at the fortress, no less. They were so impressed with me, they suggested some independent study. So that's what I've been doing, alone, for, 47 years. What is your name? She screws up her face. You know, that's an excellent question. She cocks her head. But aren't you curious? Here, let me try something on you. A pick-me-up strong enough to get you through the lake, even up the mountains. What do you say? What's in it? You ask suspiciously. She waves a bowl of green substance around excitedly. It's a very powerful healing potion, she says. You won't find this in some market. Oh no. I'm doing experiments that are so experimental even I don't know what I've put in. There's some oil scap, flattened goblin hair, a bit of unicorn meat, but that's mostly for flavor. What else do you use in your potions? Oh yes, she says. Anything I can get my hands on. You never know what effects they may have. Others might be content with knowing what a potion will do in advance, but how are we supposed to advance like that? Perhaps I have something you could use. She shrugs and you open your pack. She claws through it like a rat. Not much in there, You need to pick things up more often. I pick up everything I see. Maybe those purple leaves would be useful, you say, pointing to a pile on the workbench. She smacks her forehead. You know, I completely forgot to add those. Or did I forget to not add them? I distinctly recall one of these two being important. Before you have a chance to say anything, she tosses a few into the mixture. Better safe than sorry. That's the herbalist creed. She wipes her hand on the already filthy sack she's wearing. Now that we've got that sorted out, how about a taste? She holds the concoction inches from your face. It smells vile. YOLO. Oh, the potion slinks down your throat. Then you immediately fall unconscious and begin to dream. You are overcome by a vision of your future. You stand in a clearing halfway up a mountainside. In the middle of the clearing is a tombstone. You stand beside it with a vial of water in your hand. What is happening? You look down at the vial to see it shimmers with a strange internal glow. You pour the water into the earth and it seeps down through the soil. There is magic in the air. Suddenly something punches the earth below where you stand. You wait, and a moment later a skeletal hand erupts through the soil and grabs you around the ankle. Something is hauling itself up from the ground using your leg for purchase. The vision fades. The sun is hot now. You open your eyes to see the healer standing over you. She admits that adding the purple leaves wasn't a good idea. She assures you that you are not dead, just nearly. But look on the bright side, she says as you sit up. I discovered a very powerful new poison. I need to find more of those leaves. Don't touch anything while I'm gone. With that, she picks up a ratty sack and disappears into the woods. You grab a potion off the trail, this time a thin pink one. You weigh the options carefully and decide to risk a drink. Your legs begin twitching and wobbling. Every step is a frenzy of bending knees and feet moving in random directions. You spend a few minutes in the nearby forest bashing into trees and kicking underbrush before you gain control of your legs again. Well, that was fun. Back to the shore. You return to the shores of the lake. The pole of the bell marks the edge of the water. You steel your courage against the long swim and plunge into the water. See, the problem is I'm honestly not entirely sure where I'm going. I guess I should try to activate this lantern here. Swimming like this is hard work. Mid-afternoon heat makes the air uncomfortably warm. Dark shadow passes across the water. Looking up, you see a large winged fawn passing across the sky. It flies fast and high. You steel your courage. Is this one of the serpents that you were warned would be here in the lake? But no, this creature does not have the long, twisting tail of a snake. The creature circles back above your position. It has seen you. A nighthawk? No, the body of the creature is too small. The creature veers sharply down, then away into the mountains. You swim onwards across the surface of the lake. It is hard going. Evening is drawing in. Soon it will be dark. You rest, lifting your face from the water. Everything around you is wonderfully calm and still. For a moment you can believe you are the only living thing in the world. You keep a steady pace as you make your way through the water. The sun is now in the lowest quarter of the sky. Looking up, you sense suitable formation of stars above you. You know what? Can I just do a Zen and just float over this damn water? That'd be nice. You wind the constellations into alignment around you, and the medallion begins to glow as you rise gently up into the air. Out of the waves, you can rest a little, as well as move yourself much more quickly around. You float on across the surface of the lake. Your weight returns and you settle gradually back down to the ground. Darkness closes in. You should find a suitable spot for sleep, especially after traveling all day without eating. You stop briefly, holding up your head and catching your breath. You pause for a moment. Several yards ahead, the water is bubbling upwards. Cautiously, you splash towards the frothing water. Closer in, you start to notice that each bubble breaks on the surface. There is a sickly smell. You hold your breath and put your face in the water to peer through the murk. Somewhere far below, something shadowy is moving by. The bubbles rise from a hole in its back. Then the shadow passes and it's gone. You wait a little longer, but nothing changes. It seems whatever was here truly has moved on. You have swum into sight of a small island, but the shoreline is too rocky and rough to swim ashore. You will have to keep going. Oh, balls. Oh, balls. That doesn't help my plan at all. Oh, geez. This is not good. This whole lake thing is not working out very well. Swimming like this is very tiring. The moon crawls across the heavens like a dull pearl. You have reached the shore of the lake. The stone harbor is a ruin. A crumbled shoreline throws rocks into the water. Either side of the piled rocks are two pairs of enormous stone feet, broken off above the ankle as though cut with a scythe. You kick hard to keep your head above the churning water while you look up at the harbor. Between the two statues, you can make out the curving road that leads up to the Zanzadu peaks. Though you are so close, you cannot climb ashore here. A flock of gulls has its home between the toes of one of the stone feet. Guano dips from its toenails. You swim over to the tumbled rocks and haul yourself up. This is no staircase. These are water-slick boulders, crazily piled and rising 3 times your height to the shore. Climb is impossible. Well, can I hit up another Zen? Heck yes, that medallion's really coming in handy. I'm really sorry that guy got killed, because otherwise that would have been a real great guy to be nice to. You catch the enchantment, and the medallion begins to glow as you rise gently up into the air. You rise out of the water and float over the edge of the harbor to settle calmly on the ground. The spell fades once more. You have successfully crossed the waters of Kahkabad. The road to High Salmon winds southeast from here, but some of the archmain serpents still remain. If they reach High Salmon before you, then your mission will be discovered and the guards of Montpang will be expecting you. Yeah, so I guess really I wasn't supposed to cross the lake until I was done with all the serpents. I guess let's look at the statues. You look at two of broken feet that stand on the harbor's edge. Once this would have been the most impressive sight in the whole of Kahkabad, a testament to the will and power of the sorcerers of High Salmon. Now they are leveled. The sorcerers of that place are no more, and only the Archmage remains. With a crown in his hands, he is unstoppably powerful. Surely, even after so much, your mission is still doomed. Something glits between the statue's toes. You look closer. Set in the wedge between the fourth and fifth toe of the left statue is a small blue crystal. You touch the blue crystal and you're soon dizzying high. Oh, thank Christ that I can warp back. Hmm. Well, I'm pretty sure the water serpent is supposed to be in this lake, and I did fight the air serpent here. Um, where does that leave that I haven't really explored, though? I guess let's just go back here and see if I can try to confront the water serpent and the air serpent and maybe what other serpents. Oh, hey, Seath, what's up? Long time no see. I am busy trying to not get murdered by snakes, is basically my current plan. Let's see. Let's go ahead and rest here. Laying your pack down on the shore of the lake, you try to settle despite the shivering cold of your still wet clothing. You have eaten nothing today, but your pack is empty and you cannot satisfy your belly. You lie back and try to forget your troubles. You are unharmed here, and you do not dream. That's cool, man. Yeah. Collected the storm serpent eating there. 3 left. Yeah, long time no see. That's good. You wake after a peaceful night and gather your pack once more. Things have been going pretty good, although I've been super busy. This is actually, I haven't been streaming for a few weeks. Well, I streamed like last week, but a few that, but actually I moved recently. So yeah, things have been pretty crazy. I've been like, I don't know, doing all sorts of stuff. But I started a new job, I moved, I've been, I don't know, it's all sorts of stuff, I guess. Let's see, let's go down. Doot, 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 doot. You head off into the ruins once more. The early morning sun makes the air glow. The silence of the city is a sudden shock once more. All the people you saw earlier, all have disappeared like sunlight behind a cloud. It's pretty good. So I'm basically doing contract work for NASA. So, not like building rockets or anything, but I'm doing, like IT stuff, like programming and stuff like that for NASA. So, I don't know. It seems pretty cool. Uh, the area where I work is pretty neat. There's like a lot of benefits. So like there's a gym that I've been going through before work and things like that. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm liking it so far. I haven't been there super long though, so I'm still kind of getting my feet wet. Uh, let's see. Can I maybe rest here? No? Okay, that's fine. I guess I won't rest here. I don't need food or water or sleep. That's just totally not important. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Hasn't been a lot of free time because of that, but I like I'm liking it so far. All right, south. See the road course. All right, let's see if I can try to fight this guy again. He just does not like. I really just pissed him off. I was like, "Nah, man, I'm not falling for your trap," and he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess let's well, I guess I'll just turn around and come back." Do, 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 do. Mm, 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 mm. I almost would rather try to fight him, but oh well. I guess let's swim again. I'm gonna swim myself to death though at this rate. Away from the shore. So let's go this way. Wait, I went this way the other time, but you try to maintain a regular rhythm as you swim. Another night begins. You need rest, especially. Wait, it's nighttime already? Spit it out. Spit it out and think. Leech the size of your thumb goes flying against the water as well. So in a way. Well, can I come up here? Let's try to come up here, and I guess I'll rest there. Oop. Something like this is hard work. The moon sets, more stars appear. A short distance ahead, another commotion in the water appears, but this one is unavoidable. Leaping up from the water, a small school of flying fish are springing into the air and flying towards you. Oh, great. Oh, this is just fantastic. I'll be alright. I guess things were going too well for me, so clearly something awful has to happen. Can I just blast them? What's a good spell? Try it hot, but I'm assuming it's not going to work with all the water around. Doesn't look like I can do zap. Try wall, but I don't know if that's really going to help me. Yes. Jeez, this is not good. I'm probably going to die here. Not that I haven't died plenty of other times already, but, you know, whatevs. Cast. Looking to the constellations above, you craft a spell, throwing up an invisible barrier in front of you. The fish collide directly into it, one after another, falling into the water where they lie. Stunned, you splash onward and the shoal is left behind. Aw, dang, I was hoping I could come ashore there, but it doesn't look like that's the case. I'm gonna drown. Straight up, I'm gonna drown. You swim onwards across the surface of the lake. It is hard going and horribly cold. This is now the dead of night. You cannot go on. You are physically exhausted and must rest, but there is no land in sight. You try to close your eyes and meditate to heal yourself, but the concentration required is impossible while keeping yourself afloat. You close your eyes and raise a prayer to the gorilla. You feel a great sense of healing entering your bones. It will not save you, but may be enough to get you to shore. You try to keep it at a stage up. The sky begins to form in the east. Although they don't seem to notice you. You shout, and the water from the boat's wake fills your mouth and makes you choke. The fleet has almost passed out of sight now. You lift a hand away, but immediately begin to sink lower into the water. You splutter and choke as water enters your nose and mouth. You keep waving as your head sinks under the water. The strange thick water closes over your head and begins to push you downward. You feel yourself being dragged lower as though sucked towards the bottom of the lake. You kick and splash to get your head above water. The boats have all moved away, and you can barely see them above the gentle waves. You ignore the boats. They are too far away already. You swim on. This whole lake thing is really not going well for me at all. You collect this. I've basically just been getting murdered. I should have taken the damn boat with the stupid air serpent, I guess. I guess if I die, I'll just rewind back to there because I'm just kind of going around in circles at this point. Yay, time to drown. Try to say, but then a ray of hope appears. You have swum within reach of a rocky island. You cannot keep swimming without a break. Oh, can I actually go ashore on this one? You splash through the shallows to the shore. The mid-afternoon heat fills the region. The island is a pile of rocks, as though dumped from a giant's bucket. You adopt a meditative pose and rest. The sun begins to dip, heading towards the horizon. Please don't be dead. Clouds rumble as they roll across the inky sky. Soon it will be dark. You stand once more, feeling somewhat refreshed. You leave the shoreline and head inland. Boop. You head away from the shoreline up the rocky slope of the island. Low shrubs grow from the cracks between large stones. The wind drops. Even the water below seems to stand still. This island is quiet, deathly quiet, as though nothing here was alive at all. You creep up a little up a stony embankment to try and peer at what is ahead. You make out a bowl-shaped depression in the ground, some kind of pit. At its base lies something, a coiled shadow, but you cannot make out what it is without going closer. You return to the path, thoroughly alarmed. Well, let's hit up my favorite spell. Well, maybe second favorite. Sus. Boop. You weave the starlight into your design around you, and a calm voice enters your mind. The voice warns you that the island is occupied by a most dangerous creature with the capacity to destroy time itself. Fantastic. This is just what I need right now. Problem is that I don't know what the time serpent's weakness is. So I could try to fight it with 5 stamina, but somehow I doubt that's really gonna work. Silver weapons. Whatever, screw it. I think this would be the perfect capper to this section of the stream where I've just been getting wrecked, is if I just get murdered by the time serpent. So let's keep climbing. Yay, this is gonna be fun. You continue climbing up the strange dead slope. The path turns and then descends into a bowl-shaped pit. Yay, the pit, let's do this. Woo! You crest the edge of the rocky pit and look down. The coiled shape you saw earlier is still there, curled up, apparently asleep. You begin to cast a spell, spreading your arms wide, but of course you only have one arm. The other was lost on the climb up the hill, don't you remember? The dark shape uncoils, turning its vast jaw towards you with what is clearly a smile. Oh, I'm so fucked. Oh, I'm so fucked. He's already got me. I'm already dead. You reach for your sword, but your hand is empty. You have no sword, of course. How could you have forgotten? You lost it in the storm on the lake, just as you lost everything. I am death, the serpent says, speaking with grandiose slowness. I devour all, destroy all. Nothing can withstand me. I end all. I shall end you. I have already done it. Welcome to your death. I know who you are, you reply. You are one of the 7 serpents of Mompang. And which, pray, am I? Replies the creature languidly. This is bad. It doesn't matter who you are, you reply. The serpent seems almost to chuckle. All endings must have a moment in which they end, he remarks. This is yours. No, that was yours. You move to run, but somehow you cannot. But don't you remember? You died yesterday. You were eaten while you slept. The serpent rolls over and returns to sleep. You died well before you met the time serpent. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of artistic license here, and I'm actually going to roll back to before I pissed off the time serpent. Is that cool with everybody? Because I feel like this whole little adventure has just been a complete waste of time. Well, no, I don't know. That feels like cheating. I don't know if I like that. Let's go. When was the last time I got on the I mean, I could roll back to here. Let's see. What is the best way to do this? I think I'll just roll back to the last time. I'll roll back here. That's what I'll do. So that's not as bad. I'll just roll back to when... Yeah, that'll work. And I'm just going to say, fuck this lake. Like, pardon my French, but I'm getting the hell out of here. Problem is I don't really know where to search for the other serpents. I know that the time serpent is here, so that's good. That's a plus. The air, yes, I just pissed off, and he's gone. I don't know where the hell he ended up. I could try to mess with this guy. I guess let's go try. The town isn't really going to help me anymore, so let's go up here and see if I can change the beam of light. See if that helps me a little bit. Yep. 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 It's a damn shame that I can't buy my way to an end. I got a shit ton of gold now and I can't use it. Just funny because this whole time I've had basically no gold and I finally got a ton of gold and I don't have anything to spend it on. Alright. Boop, 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 doop. Listening to silence outside, you return to the tower back on the street. Let's go up the tower and let's take a nap. Let's take a nice long nap. Well, I guess let's adjust the beam first. Alright, so is there anything useful that this guy uncovers? Road. Oh, look, a little village there. That's nifty. I could try to get that other light. Hmm. I don't know. I think the village is probably going to be my best bet. So let's do that. Whoop. Okay. Good deal. Touch the lower steps, and it is nighttime. So can I not rest here? I guess I gotta rest. You leave the tower base. Another night begins. You need to rest, especially after so much walking on an empty stomach. Yeah, I know. Uh, I guess let's go rest here since I don't really have a city to rest in right now. You find your way back to the house with the carving of the cat upon its doorstep. It is a shattered wreck amongst shattered wrecks, more like an architect's sketch than a true building. Yeah, no, I realize that, chat, or Forlong. I realize that that if you shine a light on an area that's already back in time, it just becomes opposite, so it becomes forward in time. Carving of the cat. No, it's still use the cat not long dead. Still streets on. Let's just move on. I don't really see what the point of messing with this is. Let's go see if I can rest in the new town that I made. Blah, blah, blah. Time to move onwards. Return south. Hey, the road is nice and not messed up. Whole night, the road begins to bustle with people who seem to merge through dust and mist and rumble in their carts. Of all the strange things you have seen out in the waste, this is the strangest. These people come and go from nowhere and go nowhere, and the same travelers pass by again and again, waving the same greetings down to you. You stride on through the crowds. After a few minutes, you encounter a small girl sitting on her own and staring into the distance. You go over to her and squat down on your ankles. Greetings, little girl, you begin. The girl looks up at you sharply. You're in the wrong place, she says, aren't you? In a manner of speaking, yes, you tell her. I can see it, she says. No one else seems to notice, but I can see it. What can you see? I think it must be a curse, she replies thoughtfully. Adults are so forgetful. They forget everything. I do not understand. She points up the road towards the great stone arch to the entrance to the city. When did they rebuild that? She asked. The arch has never fallen. She shakes her head. I've seen it broken, she replies. You've just forgotten. Or you're lying to me. She jumps to her feet, suddenly upset, then rushes away, and is quickly lost in the strange mist. All is quiet once more. Well, did I screw that up? Maybe so. Oh, great. I walked through the night, so now I'm gonna get murdered. Yep. The road quickly. I was hoping to sleep in town, but I guess I spent too much time on the road. The road curves gently as you follow it. In the distance, the sun breaks over the horizon. You have been awake all night and are weaker for it. A little dust blows across the surface of the road. You must continue your long walk. There's a typo there. Come on, guys. The road seems terribly very long. Perhaps you should simply rest here for a few hours and regain some strength. Sounds like a good idea. You seat yourself and rest, focusing on your breath and the sound of the wind. You feel a great calm. As the morning moves on, the wind begins to rise. You are ready to move once more. You follow the road as it bends and then descends to the shores of the lake. This place could not be more different than when you last saw it. All around is hustle and bustle. The area above the shore teems with stalls and shoppers. At the waterline, fishermen tend their boats, punting them out into the water. In the distance, you can make out a tall tower rising from one of the lake's many islands. As the sun climbs towards its zenith, the winds pick up. Hey, I can actually buy stuff now. That's cool. On the other side of the bay area from the waterfront is a line of stalls. Most sell food, grilled fish and fruit, though there's also a bottle seller selling stoppered bottles. You greet the fruit seller, who lays his hand across the selection. One apple, 2 gold pieces, he declares. Find the Sanzunu apples. You stop at the bottle seller stall. He has shelves and shelves of bottles, all of different shapes and sizes and colors. A few are filled, but most are empty. You greet the bottle seller. You have a lot of bottles here, you remark. The bottle seller smiles. It is not my passion, if that's what you mean, but I'm very, very good at making bottles, as you can see. You scan over the filled bottles. Most seem to contain nothing but a colored water and are probably filled simply to show off the craftsmanship of the glass. But a rack from the front appears to contain blueberry potion, and the row behind is labeled Holy Water from the Temple of the Mule. I'll buy the bimberry potion. I might need that. Bimberry potions, the vendor says. The finest scoured from the wet marsh of Lake Lume itself. 7 gold pieces each. That's very expensive, you observe. It's not entirely the cost of the liquid, he answers. The bottle is highest quality as well. Well, I'll wait. Smile and shake your head. Get the empty water bottles. You look over the man's collection of empty bottles. They come in every size, from that of your thumb to up to tankards as large as your thigh. There are thin bottles and portly bottles, and bottles in every shade of colored glass. Some twist in corkscrews, some are delicately fluted. Most are very well made, indeed. You bid farewell to the bottle seller. I'll buy some apples, you tell the hawker. He nods. How many? I'll just buy one for now. I'll buy one. That's 2 gold to you, the man replies, accepting your coins. You put the fruit in your sack. Fishmonger is a large woman who wields an enormous cleaver. I'll chop it and grill it for you, she announces, staring at you threatening in the eye. 4 gold pieces per head. This one's bigger than the rest, the woman advises you, pointing at one of the fish in particular, but the difference is not discernible to your eye. Buy it, I guess. You pay the woman 4 gold pieces, and she slaps the fish onto her griddle, squeezes it over with lemon, throws a couple of unlikely-looking herbs, and then lets it fry. After a few minutes and a smell that makes your stomach ache with hunger, she slides the cooked fish off the griddle and onto some thick cheesecloth for carrying. The skin is so hot it makes your fingers blister to touch. You eat the fish there and then, before it grows cold. It is excellent, succulent, and clearly only caught a few hours previously. The woman nods. I see you are enjoying that. You nod in thanks, and she spins her cleaver in reply. You move away from the stalls. The sun is hot now. I probably should have bought more apples. You walk down on the shoreline. The water looks just as cold as you remember. In the far distance, the boats punt this way and between scattered islands. You take out the whistle and blow it, but nothing happens. Presumably there is no ferryman here, at least not in this time. Well, you know what? I'm not entirely sure what to do, honestly. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for this week. Yeah, let's see. What am I still missing? I'm still missing the water serpent, the air serpent, the time serpent, and the sun serpent, right? I've killed earth, fire, moon, and... Wait, what? I don't know. I'm getting kind of confused. Oh well, so the problem is I had the air serpent right in my fingertips. And the water serpent's supposed to be around here too, but I can't find him. Right? Lake Kahkabad. Water serpent is waiting for you, but we'll wait till you're alone to try and pick you off. Yeah, so weird. Weird that I met the water serpent, but I mean, maybe the water serpent is in this area? I don't know. Well, we'll see. I guess I will, like I said, I'll try to make a plan. I haven't really visited this island, so maybe there's a way I can come up there. But either way, I will go ahead and call it for tonight. I'll try to form a plan to defeat the other serpents, and then we shall see. We'll go from there. Hopefully, I won't die horribly, but I can't promise you anything. So anyway, if you liked it, I hope you will join me next Monday at 6 o'clock Central Time, where we will be continuing getting killed by snakes. Otherwise, I hope you have a good night, and I'll catch y'all later.